Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Entry. As I drove on the famous link bridge which bridges the suburbs to the city, I found myself looking at a sign of a car which had disabled driver. And I found myself looking at it in the city perhaps for the first time. And that was thanks to Ajay and Dr. Jitendra coming in, talking at length to me about what this entire exercise is going to be. But then, suddenly to my surprise, I found that the driver who was there was not so helpless and meek as I imagined a disabled person to be. He shot past me, overtook and raced ahead with fierce intent to get somewhere. It demolished the stereotype that existed in my head of the so-called disabled person being a misfit in the competitive, fierce world of ours. Here was a guy who perhaps was more able to deal with, despite of his so-called shortcomings, quote-unquote, in this world that we have created. So, as soon as I stepped in and I was received by Ajayji and other young girls, Dr. Saab, I was quite staggered by the kind of mindsets we who claim to be evolved seem to still be shackled to. We pride ourselves and say, oh, we are very evolved and we are in sync with the times. But here was life telling me, listen buddy, you don't know a damn thing. Your references are from the old Hindi movies which belong to the dustbin of history. Update your references. So that was my brief story. And as I walked in, I was further alarmed to see how deep my ignorance was about this entire world to which these brave men and women are pandering to out of their empathy. So I think I'm certain that when we go back from here, we will get this taste of life which we wouldn't have got in that illusion-making factory where we spend most of the time.
We went over there and she was narrating us the story about when she visited Japan. And she will tell actually in her own words, I would not like to basically reveal that. But my question is that we are set to invest almost $1 trillion to develop our infrastructure. And if you look at it actually almost 90% country, 90% of India is not accessible or disabled friendly. What really needs to happen really in terms of when we go forward? And before that, as you entered in the hall, you have interacted with so many participants out here. What kind of impressions you have got? Then you can actually talk about what the infrastructure should take place.
Well, I would like to begin by saying that, first of all, thank you for inviting us here. And the next time I'm here, I promise I'm going to be like that lady speaking to you all in sign language. Because that is my aim, and that's what I told Yogesh as well. I said I want to learn sign language. If you remember, we did a film called Sir with Nasir and Paresh, and I played a character who had a kind of an impairment where she stuttered each time she got kind of emotionally overwhelmed. And I remember Yashji, who himself in life did have the same impairment as they call it. He came up to me and he said that, you know, that was a wonderful performance because it was so real and you didn't play it like a caricature. And I think that kind of gave me a feeling about how a character or a person can feel so much and is sometimes unable to express it, and you get a kind of frustration with your body and with the mind, and the heart is saying so much, but sometimes the body is not able to kind of catch up. And like Ajayji brought Dr. Abhay Bhatt to the office yesterday, and I think he began his talk with us by saying the most amazing thing. And I quoted that to my friends today. I lost a very dear friend of mine yesterday, and I was at his funeral before I came here. But I told them all about you in the midst of that, and that brought like this ray of sunshine into the room. And you began by saying that, thank God for my supposed disability, because I would not have discovered my ability, my true ability, and I wouldn't have been here. And And I think that that is something that we all need to learn from. So I think that for me, there was no question of cancelling today. And I think it's in times of your personal grief when you got to understand that in these short lives that we lead, it is our duty to reach out to each other and support each other's breath.